Hello and welcome to our first live coverage of the 2026 World Cup. Our audio companion commentary here on the Chris McPherson Show as we get set for a huge clash to get things underway at the Stadium Azteca as Mexico take on South Africa. Great to have you tuning in. Really looking forward to getting this started, our first coverage. Certainly an interesting game to start us. Stadium Azteca will, as of kickoff, hold the record for the most matches hosted in World Cup history. Apologies when we just sorted out a few pieces of technology. It is great to have everyone tuning in. Great to be with you. We're not far away from kickoff for the 2026 World Cup. So let's have a look at how the two teams do line up for this clash. We'll start with the side that is not the home side. We'll start with South Africa. In goals will be Ronwen Williams. 4 is Teboho Mokoena. Number 6, Aubrey Madiba. 9 is Lyle Foster. 13 is Yaya Sitole. 14 is Mkazeli Mboaza. 15, Ikram Rainers. 19, Nkosanathi Sabisi. 20 is Kuliso Madao. 21, Ime Ocon. And 23, Jaden Adams. They're coached by Hugo Bruce. And then for Mexico, in goals, Raul Raniel. 3 is Cesar Montes. 5, Johan Vasquez. 6, Eric Lira. 8, Alvaro Fidalgo. 9, Raul Jimenez. 15, Israel Reyes. 16 is Julian Quinones. 23, Jesus Gallardo. 25, Roberto Alvarado. And 26 is Brian Gutierrez. They are coached by Javier Aguirre. Looking forward to this one. Looking forward to getting it started, getting underway with the World Cup. A huge 104 game tournament. The biggest in history. Up from 64 games at the last World Cup. Absolute phenomenal increase in fixtures across 3 countries, Mexico, Canada, and the USA. It's certainly going to be interesting. These sides clashed in the World Cup when South Africa were hosts. As the smoke show goes off with all the colours, the Mexican flag flies over the stadium. South Africa looking to progress from the group stage for the first time. Mexico, however, they are chasing as hosts. The best ever finish. They'd love to get past the quarterfinals. Made the round of 16 8 times. Made the quarterfinals twice. 2022 in Qatar was the first time in 9 World Cups they did not progress from the group stage. Only twice in the last 50 years have they not gotten further than the group stage. When they've qualified, so. As I was saying, they played in 2010 to kick off the World Cup in South Africa. 16 years ago, it was a 1-1 draw. They'll look to improve on their win-loss-draw record at the last World Cup in Qatar, which saw them not progress from the group, as I said. Three officials today, led by Wilton Sampaio, all Brazilian, the match officials on field. We may just see for Mexico if Guillermo Ochoa comes on. A man making his appearance at a 6th World Cup. There'll be 2 or 3 of those in the mix this edition of the World Cup. It's great to have you all tuning in. Make sure to get involved in those comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from for this one. Both sides get set for kickoff. South African side loaded with players that will be familiar with each other. They've got 6 players all in that starting 11 that all play for Mamelodi Sundowns. Their squad littered with Sundowns players and Orlando Pirates players as well. Orlando have 8 players in the squad, as do Mamelodi, so 16 of their 26 are represented by those 2 clubs in the South African League. Two captains pose for the standard photo. Cesar Montes, captain for Mexico. Teams go into their huddles for the last moments, getting set for this clash. Mexico named to line up in a 4-1-4-1. So it'd be Reyes, Montes, Vasquez, and Gallardo across the back. Lira in the holding midfield. Alvarado, Gutierrez, Fidalgo, and Quinones in the main body of midfield. And then Jimenez will be up front. And he plays at Fulham, leading the lines. And then for South Africa, a 5-3-2. So Mudal, Ocon, Sabisi, Mabawazi, and Madiba across the back line. Mokoena, Yaya Sitole, and Adams will be the midfield. And then up front, it will be Foster and Reyners as we get set to get underway. And we are underway indeed. Our first match of 104 is underway. And we're away and rolling. FIFA World Cup 2026 is here. And it's underway at the Stadium Azteca. Mexico versus South Africa. Mexican team starts with it Montes. Sending it back now. Vasquez. Plays it to the left with Gallardo. Swung wide now. Reyes. Switches it back now. Vasquez working down the left. Mexico looking lively early. Lira. Sits on the ball, plays it across now. Vasquez. Dalgo playing it back. Just probing forward and then pulling back Mexico. Sitting on halfway with the captain, Montes. Trying to find avenues forward. Lira pulls up, sitting just in front of the defenders in the centre circle. Reyes now, though. Plays across Montes. Push forward here. Alvarado. Dispossessed. South Africa come away with it. Jaden Adams working it wide now. Mudau. They go all the way back to Williams, the goalkeeper, who plays it out, and some reasonably fluent passing early from South Africa, who are the outsiders. Just remembering, Mexico have played 7 times in World Cups at the Stadium Azteca and never lost. 5 wins, 2 draws. Back to Williams again. Now they push forward and work it through Mboaze. Ocon. Driven pass from Williams, a little too heavy, the touch on receiving that by Madiba. Now Mexico throwing the attacking half, thrown in behind. Heavy challenge there after the throw. Alvarado's taken down. Looks like it was Madiba coming in with a challenge. Got some ball, but he also got plenty of a player. So Mexico will now have dangerous dead ball opportunity, about 30 out from goal, in line with the right edge of the 6-yard box. Going to be Roberto Alvarado and Brian Gutierrez, the two of 3 players from the Guadalajara club in the starting 11 for Mexico. So it looks like it'll be Gutierrez to play it into the box. Decides to drive it in and take a shot. Comes off the 2-man wall and goes over the sideline. Good to have you all tuning in. Make sure to hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel, get involved in the comments as well. Let us know who you've got taking this one out and what your predicted scoreline is. As the throw comes in again from Reyes. They play it down the line. He's the man to get it back on return. Shot taken. Forces a diving save from Ronwen Williams. It's down to his right. Parries it away, the South African goalkeeper and captain. I'll take it on the first attempt. Raul Jimenez. Corner now for the Mexican side. Floated in, short at the front post. Williams gets out and parries it down with both hands. Flicked dangerously into the 6-yard box. Headed down. Passed away. Skewed off the outside of the boot. That wasn't the clearance they were looking for. And Lira throws it back, and now all of a sudden South Africa pushing on a counter. Reyners lays it off. Now they get out wide to the left here. South Africa on the push. Just a little heavy to lead ball from Lyle Foster. And it's picked up by Raul Rangel. End-to-end football early in these first 5 minutes. Now Mexico float it wide to the left. Gallardo tries to play it in behind for Alvarado, but South Africans step in and take it away through Jaden Adams. And the next pass is far too heavy and goes across the sideline. Just misdirected through the midfield. The Mexico now happy to work it out from the back with Vasquez. He's taking his time. Slowly meandering forward. He plays it on now. Gallardo sends it back to Vasquez. Comes wider now on the right to Reyes. Nothing happening, so they push it back through the captain in Montez. Now Vasquez pushing down the left, advances over halfway, spaces off it to him. He lays the ball off to a teammate. Then they probe forward further. Mexico up to their front lines now with Gallardo trying to get around the defender. Sliding tackle from Mudau sees it out of play for a corner. No, they're going to say it was a goal kick. Interesting decision. The Brazilian referee. South Africa pressed by Mexico here, and the defence pushes the ball up. Now, deflected off a Mexican player and goes out of play back over the byline. So we'll have another goal kick here. And South Africa again will look to play it out from the back. Mexican press means they have to do so a little quicker. They go long here. Ball pinballs around off a few heads and it'll go out of play over on halfway. Throw in for Mexico. So Israel Reyes. There's a floating pass over for Gallardo. Jimenez racing through, trying to put the pressure on, but the ball can't be contained by his teammate. He goes over the sideline for a South African throw. Fairly cagey opening exchange over those first 8 and a bit minutes. Mexico have had the one genuine chance from Raul Jimenez. South Africa step in here and push the ball back to Ronwen Williams, their keeper and captain. Now a forced turnover on the edge of the 18-yard box. Here's a chance, and here is the opening goal of the World Cup. And it is Julian Quinones, sorry. Just stumbled on that one, didn't I? Jeez. The man who plays his club football in Saudi Arabia gets the opening goal of the World Cup. And the home side has the Stadium Azteca on their feet with the opening goal of the 2026 World Cup. Came from a South African mistake on their 18-yard box. And Quinones it's a turn pass, a heavy touch, and it was well taken. Quinones then just fired it down past the right side of Ronwen Williams. He tried to get a boot down to it and he just clipped it inside. Almost nutmegged himself there, Williams, and gives Mexico the lead after 9.5 minutes. Now South Africa looking for an answer. Mexico take the ball away straight away, go forward on the attack, but the offside flag's going to go up from the long ball. Exchange of tackles on halfway, and the ball goes out of play. Boha Mokoena. There's a few choice words there as one of the players still down here. He's the goal scorer in Quinones. Mexico start to work it again. Pushing the ball around. Beating it back. Montez. Vasquez. And all the way back to Reniel, the keeper. The third of the trio of Guadalajaran players in this starting 11. We'll play it across now. And Vasquez pushes forward, pulls up, sends it back to Raniel. Comes out to the right to Montez. Essentially, Lira floats it up and over. Vasquez just happy to control the space, especially with an early lead. Driven, floated ball over the top, looking for an advancing runner. Jimenez managed to keep it inside the byline. Plays it back into play off the body. Kulisa Madal. And we'll have a corner for Mexico. They look to extend their lead. Float in from the corner, dangerous position. Mexican head finds it with Jimenez, but it goes very aerial. Far too high, far away from the target. And easily dealt with by the South African defence. They roll forward, a penetrating through ball that rockets past even their attackers and sits with Raniel straight away. It's very heavy. Certainly found the gap, but didn't find a teammate. Now Mexico just happy to stand on the ball, take their time. They play it out now to Reyes. He'll go back to Raniel, the keeper. Gallardo sends it back again before they go long forwards. Headed around now. South Africa take it on the move. Tole. Come to the left now. Boaza. For Adams. Takes a sort of meandering run back through the centre of their midfield. And now they go with the long ball over the top. Can't quite be controlled by Mudal. It's the right concept. The execution just a few inches off. Gallardo with a throw on the left. Good strong tackle. No, we're going to come back. At first, the referee was going to play on from that. Jalen Adams asked the question. Mokoena, the tackler. On review, the referee did get it right. So, a third of the way through this first half. Beautiful probing ball here from Mexico. Gutierrez pushing down. Two defenders taking him on. Gutierrez gets a bit too physical with Mboaza. Yeah, long here. Lyle Foster working it forward. Nice little pivot move there from Mokoena. Out wide for Mudal. Plays it back in, Mokoena. Coming across and working to the left as they try to feed a ball through and thread it through almost the smallest of gaps. It's deflected away by the Mexican defence, but falls a pair of South African boots. As Boaz puts it into the box. Mexico turn it over and forward they go. Foul given. And the referee's going to go to his pocket. Brings out the yellow card. Will be for Tabaho Mokawena. It's a fairly heavy challenger. We've seen a couple already from Mokawena, so he does go into the book. Wonderful to have you all. You're tuning in. Involved in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from, what your predicted scoreline is. Given some of your World Cup tips, who's going to take it all out? Here's your team. Who are you backing? Who are you barracking for? As Madiba plays it backwards. Sitting back in their own half, South Africa. Boaza plays it back to the keeper. Now they swing around and try the efforts on the right-hand side. Sabisi threading through another through ball. Just the intent is right. The execution, not so. This time it is Mokawena with the through ball. You can see the plan they're trying to play to. It's just not quite hitting the mark for them. Mexico go back to Reniel. Vasquez happy to take his time on the ball, as is Reniel now that he has the ball back with him. Happy to be patient, Mexico. Nothing presents. Reniel goes long. It's headed on from the Mexican attack. Falls friendly of the defence, and they go, the South Africans, back to Williams, their keeper. Williams goes long. Headed down by Cesar Montes. Now Alvarado. A 1-2 move. Flicked back infield, then lofted out to his advantage. He plays it forward down the line. Gets a return pass. Good ball movement. Dropping it back to Reyes. Nothing presents for him, so they try and feed it in centrally. Shot taken from range. That was optimistic, I think, from Quinones. Norman Williams happy to take his time with his ball. Referee just having a chat. Pulling up play with Raul Jimenez. Probed now by Rainers. Forward for South Africa. Find that goal. It still feels like it's a feeling out process at almost the 20-minute mark for these two sides. First goal inside 10 minutes to Mexico. Gives them certainly the upper hand. South Africa trying to play it forward here. Working the ball inside. Maddow plays it forward. The defence reads the ball again. Just that transition into that forward third that is eluding South Africa. There's another foul given. Down. He's probably right there. There probably wasn't any contact as Montes jumped over him. The referee having a conversation with Aubrey Madiba. One of those 6 players we touched on that ply their trade at Club Mamelodi Sundowns in the South African League. Alongside Williams, the goalkeeper, Mokawena, Rainers, Maddow and Adams. Now Mexico pushing forward. Alvarado floating it into the box. Good defensive work from South Africa there. O'Connor at the back. South Africa working it around now through their defensive line. Push it forward to the right. Maddow sees nothing presenting in front, so rotates it back across their defensive line to Ronwen Williams, who pushes it wide now for Boaza. He'll float it long, just trying to play the chances as it's parried down by Reniel. South Africa try and cross it into the box. They want a handball call. They're not getting it. It's deflected away and then seen off long by Mexico. South Africa return it down into the attacking half. Mokawena. Appealing for a foul. Down, rolling around, clutching his ankle. Looked innocuous, but a yellow card goes to Gutierrez. Certainly might be hard done by there, Gutierrez. It didn't even look like there was any contact. Intriguing. Good to have you all tuning in. Don't be shy. Get involved in those comments. Let us know where you're watching from around the world or wherever you might be. Always good to have an idea of where the audience is based. South Africa will have an opportunity of a dead ball piece here, just 2 metres inside the right touch line. Almost directly in line with the top of the 18-yard box. Great to have you all tuning in. Make sure you like on the video as well, and we'd love it if you hit subscribe to the channel. We'll be back for plenty of matches throughout the World Cup as is curled in by South Africa into the box, but headed away. Picking it up now is Mboaza. Throws it into the box off the left boot. Again, just can't control it, and Quinones plays it into the body of the South African, and it goes back, spilling over the byline, and it will be a goal kick to Mexico. And we will have the cooling or hydration break now. So, as we get through deep into this first half and push well past the midway point, Mexico, it's fair to say, have had the execution. Been not quite a dominant force, but the stronger of the two sides. South Africa have shown some moments of late, but Mexico 54% of possession. 5 shots and 2 on target to nil. South Africa yet to have the ball inside the opposition 18-yard box. Certainly most of the attacking and distribution stats sit well in favour of South Africa, of Mexico, sorry. But it only takes one chance. Just sitting in the hydration and cooling break at the moment. A reminder, it was in the 9th minute that William Quinones got the opening goal. Man who plays his club football at Al Qadsiya in Saudi Arabia. So, as we get set for the resumption. Mexico bring it back into play with a long goal kick. South Africa onto the ball now. Madiba. Mokoena. Ocon plays it across now to Sabisi. Now back to Ronwen Williams and forward for Mboaza. Tries to float it in dangerously with a lofted through ball. To rotate it back again, and Mboaza picks it up just in front of halfway. Mokoena, nothing presenting, so he goes back to Ocon. Down, plays it centrally, and Mexico take the ball away. And lay it out to the left here. Ball out wide on the left for Quinones. He plays it back down the line towards the defensive side. Quinones on the ball now again. Exchanging passes along that left touch line. Quinones, a little errant there with his pass, sends it back, and now they're going to go all the way back to Reniel. Vasquez. Quinones plays it wide now. Back that left edge. Bring it back through centrally. Quinones, nice ball for Alvarado into the 18-yard box. He takes a shot, it's deflected. Seen away outside of the 18-yard box now, and Maddow plays it long, just clears it away from danger. And right out at the front corner of his 18-yard box is Raul Reniel, the Mexican keeper, picking it up. Fidalgo. Pushing forward. Quinones lofts it over and finds Alvarado inside the right touch line. And curled dangerously into the box, but the runners aren't forward far enough for it, and it's easily taken by Ronwen Williams out at the edge of his 6-yard box. "30 minutes gone, 15 to come in this first half. Long ball comes from South Africa again and just headed down by the Mexican defence. Pushed across to the right now with Israel Reyes. Nothing presents, so he feeds it back to his captain in Cesar Montes. He'll go across now to Vasquez and play it down the line again. Picked off by the South African defence. They'll play it safe and go back to their keeper in Ronwen Williams. Mokoena. Little pass played on here, but Gallardo sniffs it out before Mboaza can get there. And I'll play it back again to their keeper. Reniel pushes it across to the right. Playing it out from the back with Montes. Puts his boot through it and goes long. Sabisi, central defenders here, picks it up again. So if we just can't find a way forward through this Mexican defensive unit. And Boaza now on the ball. Dropping it back for Ocon. Imi Ocon plays it out now. Back across to Ronwen Williams. Return pass to Ocon. And Boaza wide on the left. Lofted ball over the top. They're looking for the offside flag. Flag stays down for the time being. And Madiba tries to cross it in. And it's just pushed by the defence over the byline. The offside call might come back after all. Indeed it does. Long ball forward, Quinones. Rotates it back into the defensive line now, Vasquez. Mexico just working it around, playing their angles. Happy to send it back now to Raniel. But miscontrol there, goes out of play. Africa take the throw deep down towards halfway. Boaza plays it back now. Ocon. Fed forward by Mokoena. Opportunity now coming into the 18-yard box. They can control it and get a strike away from Foster. He pushes it wide. It's a little too quick, though, for Medal. Opportunity goes begging for South Africa. To VAR, check there quickly on something. But Mexico have the throw. They go long. Somehow, miraculously chested down and in the favour of Gutierrez. Gutierrez plays wide. Alvarado's there, puts it out to the advantage of Reyes, but a sliding tackle from Mboaza falls it across the sideline, and it'll be a throw in deep in attacking territory for Mexico. Alvarado cuts in. Plays it along now. Fidalgo, they get to the edge of the 18-yard box and just feeds it in. Looking for a ball across the face of the keeper, but Williams comes out off his line and nabs that very quickly. So they're trying to execute there, the Mexican side. Throw in now for Gallardo. Defensive territory for Mexico on their left side. Midpoint of their defensive half. Reyes now works it down the right-hand side. Lira. Lira working through it on midfield, on halfway. Pushes it across through the centre circle. Israel Reyes. Back now for Montez. Vasquez and wide now. Gallardo. Playing it through Lira, who's just to the left of the centre circle on halfway. Mexico trying to move the ball around here, just trying to create some openings. As they come back to Montez, and he has to push all the way back, and Vasquez, Johan Vasquez, will send it back to the keeper in Raul Rangel. Rangel goes long. It's headed down by South Africa, but falls right at the boots of Jesus Gallardo. His probing pass was picked off, and now South Africa will try to work forward. Aubrey Madiba drops it back to the centre circle. Now they'll try and play it around. Sabisi gives it off for Medal. That's floated wide out to the left. And Boaza lofts it into the box, headed on, just wide. It's much better from South Africa. Lyle Foster got up to it. But headed on to target, but it was just a little to his right of the goal. Foster plying his trade most recently with Burnley in England. Fatigue starts to creep in these last 8 or so minutes of the first half. Both teams starting to take advantage and make sure they're capitalising on the opportunities that present. Adams playing it across. Now with Sabisi. Lofts it long. Headed down to the box, but there's no runners coming through for South Africa. So after a moment, Raniel will pick the ball up as the South Africans advance, and now he'll roll it out, and they'll play it out. They go down the right-hand side where it ends up with Alvarado. Floated cross ball, switch to point of attack, going across to Gallardo. Back now to Vasquez. Sitting deep in defence, just outside his 18-yard box. Plays it forward to Lira. Head up towards halfway now. They work it back again after nothing presents and gets into the defensive line, and now pressure coming from South Africa. As Lira goes down to the turf. Satole will get a caution from the referee, no card for the challenge. Lira's back to his feet. Swinging it around here. The Mexican side just utilising it through the defensive line. Montez now will go to Israel Reyes. Back to Montez. Pushing forward. Alvarado. Ball turned over. One back again and Lira on it now. Alvarado plays it out wide. He's hitting a strong challenge. But play on, says the referee, and so we move forward past the 40th minute mark. Work it all the way back to Raniel again, Mexico. Patience has been the word of the day for the home side. Now with Gallardo. Just moving it around, angling the ball. They push forward here now, Quinones. They try to feed the angle. It's picked off well, though, by the defence of South Africa. And ball seen away temporarily at least. Now pushed towards the 18-yard box, Quinones. Lays it across here. Alvarado for Reyes. Reyes just outside the 18-yard box. Working it back, trying to create spaces, but nothing really presenting. South Africa trying to be disciplined here. There it is, headed away by Mudau. Floated into the box here. Dangerous opportunity, and diving across to his left is Ronwen Williams. Gets a hand to it. Parries it down, then gets back to his feet and charges across. That was so close for Raul Jimenez. Might have been a split hair offside as he tried to just feather that onto the goal. Mexico take it away here and moving forward on the quick break, Quinones. Tries to take a strike. Doesn't quite work out. Reyes puts it back into the box. Quinones with a second off the woodwork. Looking for a second goal. As now South Africa fight to try and get it outside of their 18-yard box. But Mboaza is fouled. So now, South African side moving it forward. Trying to create some angles and options. Nothing presents, so they go back. Work it through Ocon. Push wide now. Mudau. Erroneous pass again. They get themselves worked into a good position, South Africa, and then they just put in a pass that doesn't go anywhere near one of their teammates. There floats this over the top, looking for a run from Jimenez. South Africa take it away. A couple of advancing runners just have to pull back their run after they pretty aggressive in how they went about it. They work it wide to the right now for Mudau. Tries to cross it into the box. Deflected off the body of one of the Mexican defenders who got himself in to block it. It was Gallardo, and it'll go across the byline just inside the corner flag. As we head into the final 90 seconds of regulation time of this first half, Mexico will have to defend a South African corner. So now they go the short corner. They curl it in dangerously here, headed away by the Mexican defence. As far as Ocon, he takes a strike, and see what, there's a fair strike from Mboaza in the end. About 35 metres, and Raniel had to cover some space to get across and just palm it down into his own palm. Gallardo plays it back. See to see how much time the referee decides to extend this first half by for added time. He's working it out from the back. Lira dropping into the line, plays it on to Johan Vasquez. Now Fidalgo. Lofted over the top. That's a good ball. Looking for Quinones. Racing out off his line is Ronwen Williams, who comes and hammers it forward just at the top of his 18-yard box. So minimum of 4 minutes of added time to be played, they say. Reyes plays it back across now to Vasquez. KG again from Mexico. Just waiting for the right opportunity to arise to push forward. They come back instead, though. Nothing in front of them. Raniel with the ball. Taking his time here. Now, the South African defence advances upon him, so he sends it long. Jimenez trying to get the ball out in front of Alvarado. Instead, it's taken by Mboaza. He tries to clear it away, but just puts it over the sideline. So a throw in deep in attacking territory. But Mexico will be taken by Reyes. Now, shot from well outside the box taken by Mexico. Didn't really have a lot of threat about it from Gallardo, but trying their hand, just chancing it. Morning, mate. How are you? Good to have you on board, Nate. South Africa working it across now. Moved out. Cross deep and long. Madiba gets tangled up, but bounces back up and comes away from the challenge with Alvarado. Down a dangerous position, trying to sneak around to get the other side of the byline. Ball goes out. And referee points for a goal kick. Aubrey Madiba. South African not happy with that, and I can see why. The last touch was indeed off a Mexican player. Hugo Bruce, the South African coach, is having a very loud internal monologue by the sideline. Maddow plays it forward for South Africa. Try to swing it back across through the centre, but it's turned over, just picked off the boots of the attacker by Mexico. They play it in behind now. Opportunity here for a second. Skewed off the outside of the boot. Try to get a little bit too cute there, Brian Gutierrez. Rather than just try and hammer it home, he tried to caress it casually off the outside of the boot and ends up being wide of the target. I think it would have had enough pace to really challenge the keeper anyway, despite him having to cover ground to his left. So into the final 30 seconds of what they've scheduled of added time here. So if we go long and try and pull it up through Ikram Rayners, but he couldn't track it down and keep control, and it goes over the sideline just short of the corner flag. So a throw deep in defensive territory. So that will be half time. At the break, it is Mexico leading 1-0. That is that 9th minute goal to Julian Quinones, who gives Mexico their lead here at Stadium Azteca in Mexico City. Mexico probably should be leading by a little bit more, you would think, but we're going to head to the halftime break. We'll be back with the second half in about 10 minutes or so. And the break, it is Mexico leading 1-0. So we'll rejoin you shortly for the second half. Looking forward to that. We'll see you in 10 or so. Make sure if you haven't already, please hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel, and get involved in the comments as Nathan, resorting to golf, has. We'll see you very soon for the second half. Welcome back as we get set for the second half of the opening game of the FIFA World Cup. Mexico, the hosts, one of the three hosts, up against South Africa. In a fitting full circle moment, it is the rematch of these two teams that played on this day 16 years ago in 2010 to kick off South Africa's home World Cup. Such an iconic stadium here, the Stadium Azteca. Of course, the stadium that has hosted Diego Maradona winning a World Cup, Pele winning a World Cup, now for the third time. Host World Cup matches in this edition, the 2026 edition of the World Cup. As we get back underway here, and straight away, Mexico go on the attack, and it goes to Ronwen Williams, the South African keeper. I feel he's going to be a busy man in the second half as they turn it over here. Opportunity straight away for Mexico. They sneak in behind. The defence is standing up to it, though. Again, for the second or third time today, we see a mistake from the back pass. Shot taken from range. Gutierrez just over the crossbar. Yanks are just looking a little disappointed, but bemused that the shot that he took didn't quite dip down the way he wanted. Again, just a erroneous back pass, and it was Alvaro Fidalgo who managed to capitalise on it. But dear, oh dear. Sloppy work from the South African side. South Africa, though, now they managed to go on the attack themselves. They play it inside. Again, just a misdirected pass. And Quinones is the man that capitalises. He takes it away. Now Fidalgo plays it forward. A little too heavy for Quinones. Now, sending it long again is Ronwen Williams. Looking for a runner, but it's just a little too wide. Gallardo will have the throw now for Mexico. Ball driven forward, and that was a real pot shot from range by Quinones. Did force a save, though. About 40 out. Just trying to test the keeper, pin him back on his line. So another missed pass by South Africa, and Mexico look to go forward and capitalise. Reyes. Little turn away from the defender. Ball played down the line looking for Reyes' advantage, but a little too heavy for him. Now working down the right edge. Madal plays it back in, and again, almost hands the ball back to Mexico in attacking football. Advantage play for South Africa here after a heavy challenge. Referee says that's advantage done. Alvarado now. They played across to the left to Fidalgo. Working it wide now to Reyes on the right. Probes it down field, and they push it forward now. The offside flag, like it should have gone up, but we'll wait and see. Challenge side on, says the referee. We've got a foul after the fact, and we've got a red card. A red card for South Africa. Gutierrez was through and on towards goal. I think it's Yaya Satole. He's been red carded here. It'll all be very interesting. Gutierrez just got in behind, cut across Cidiole. Oh, that's tough. Free kick just outside the box. But South Africa now down a man trying to come back into this one. So it will be Raul Jimenez. They will be setting up the free kick. It'll be interesting to see who is the player to take it. I think it will be him. There are a couple of players standing over the ball here. Morning, Jake. How are you, my friend? A little bit of theatre happening now. South Africa down a player. Red card. Dangerous free kick here just outside the 18-yard box. Jimenez takes it, drives it into the wall. Pops down now, pushed wide and skewed off the outside of the boot. That was a very mediocre attempt by Jesus Gallardo off his left boot. St Helens and Warrington 6-all. It's an interesting one. There's a lot on that game. Warrington trying to stay equal top, I think, from memory. Now, Mexico's working the ball forward again. Quinones gets it out in front now. Good sliding tackle there coming in from Maddow. This possesses Mexican attack. But it will be a corner for Mexico. And they've got the best part of 40 minutes with a man advantage. Alvarado curls it in towards the penalty spot, but South Africa get up and head it away. And Lira comes around and just clears it forward over the sideline. South Africa take the throw in and going backwards. Mokoena. Just inside the base of the centre circle. Probes it forward with a long through ball, which was just a little too heavy for Mboaza. Now Vasquez brings it forward. Montez on the ball, the captain, working it around, back to Vasquez. Late wide to Gallardo, then they drop it back and floated ball over the top now. Trying to get out in front of Alvarado, but just a touch too big. Great to have those of you who tuned in tuning in. Michelle, make sure you get involved in those comments. Let us know where you're watching from. As pushing forward now is South Africa with Mokoena. Gives the ball out now for Rayners. Drops it back for Maddow. Wide on the right. They switch it across. Take it to the centre of their attack now. Wider on the left. And turn it back with nothing presenting. Avenues to goal not opening for South Africa. Having to work overtime with just 10 men. Mokoena stepping across, plays it through. Shot taken from range. Little fumble there from Raniel, but he cleans up. It's a good strike, to be fair, from Madiba. Did force a save. It's a little bobble from Raniel as he tried to take it. 10 minutes gone in this second half. A goal 9 minutes into the first from Julian Hinones. Early tea time on the Valley. Sounds tough. The first change coming for South Africa. Talente Mbatha will come on. He will replace Lyle Foster. Playing up front. Mbatha, a big part of a successful Orlando Pirates campaign this year in the South African Domestic League. One of 8 Orlando Pirates in the squad. Maddow now lays it off, gets a return pass again. Play it wide, turn it over in midfield. Jimenez comes away with it. Plays it off the legs of a South African defender who does well to retrieve it inside the sideline. You have a foul there, just a little clip. Jaden Adams just a little too enthusiastic. Mexican player down, getting treatment. Is Eric Lira. So referee giving some of the players addressing down at the set piece here, most notably Mboaza and Johan Vasquez. This one about 22 out from goal. They floated into the box, headed away by South Africa towards the sideline. Mboaza will track along and try and clean this up, and he does well. Doesn't quite keep it inside the sideline, but sends it down well over halfway before it goes across the touchline. So Mexico working out of their own end. Almost 14 minutes gone in this second half. Nice work down the right flank here by Alvarado. Runs out of space though, so we'll play it all the way back. And when I say all the way back, it goes back to the keeper in Raniel. Vasquez pushes forward, lays it off to Gallardo. Dropping it back to Lira, who's deputising in defence. On to Montez. Lira again. Wide to Vasquez. Mexico pushing forward over halfway. Play ball back in centrally, just a short ball. Lira now. Lira feeds it on. Played into the box, just a touch too heavy. You can see the idea. But Alvarado could not reel in that lofted ball from Quinones. The early hours are taking their toll. It will be a goal kick. Well, it's going to be taken by Ocon. Plays it across now. They look to work it out. Forward it comes now. Back, return pass to Imi Ocon. Sabisi pushing down the right flank. Next return pass is lobbed out of bounds. Ocon for Sabisi. Ocon and Sabisi working with Mokoena. Inside half an hour remaining. South Africa haven't really looked like finding a response. Heavy challenge there from Alvarado on Modiba. South Africa will make another change here. Then Bazwane will come on. Jaden Adams will come off. One Mamelodi Sundowns player replacing another. Trying to find some spark here. Down a man, South Africa. So now Mexico trying to work it forward. Just nothing presenting, so they rotate it back through that defensive line again, as they've been wont to do all day. Sending it back to Rangel. Jimenez calls forward for it. That's where they play it. Aggressive approach for the ball from Quinones. Down on the ground. Didn't look like on the replay there was even much contact. Now South Africa trying to loft it forward and take it on. Mexico clear it away back towards halfway. Mokoena. They lob it into the box now. Lofted pass. Just a little too heavy for the advancing runner. Kalisto Medal. Mexico would look to take the goal kick. They'll be looking for more goals, Mexico, because they'll know that this standard is going to need to uplift if they want to finish in the top two of the group and guarantee progression. Other games in this pool will be against the Czech Republic, in South Korea. South Korea and Czechia will get their tournament underway a little later today. And they'll be back in action again, these Group A sides, on Friday, the 19th of June, Australian time, which I think will be Thursday, the 18th. So in a week's time. Double change now coming for Mexico, and one of those will be Brian Gutierrez coming off. The other will be Alvaro Fidalgo coming off, and two players coming on will be Gilberto Mora and Luis Chavez. Mora, a highly touted talent. Chavez plays his club football in Russia with Dynamo Moscow. Thanks, Nath. Hit them well, my friend. Hit them well. As we continue on here. Just over 20 minutes remaining here. Mexico well and truly in control, but as I'm saying, need to step this up as we're getting to there. The final group games for this group will be just under 2 weeks' time. It's headed forward, and here's Jimenez stepping on. Beautifully lofted cross to his advantage. And that's going to be hard for any goalkeeper as Raul Jimenez gets a second for Mexico. After 21 minutes of this second half. They lead 2-0. You see it on the replay. This was perfectly placed for an advancing Jimenez. An emotional Raul Jimenez. Ball just floating in. Pushed wide. The cross comes through. Jimenez gets the ball down into the bottom left-hand corner with a header. Wonderful work. Something coming from not a lot. He laid the platform for himself in the lead-up. And now, with almost 23 minutes gone in this half, Mexico double their lead. That will also coincide with the cooling break. A hydration break, depending on what you want to call it. I think hydration break is the term they're using. What a way for Mexico to double their lead. They are on top well and truly now, the Mexican national side, as they look to drag this game to sit themselves in the best position after game one of the 2026 World Cup. Mexico now 2 goals the first. Through Julian Quinones in the 9th minute. And now in the 21st minute of the second half. Raul Jimenez gets the goal. He's one of the most capped players in this squad. Certainly in that starting lineup. And he's played his football at Fulham up to this point, but will join the Wolverhampton Wanderers in 2026-27. Jimenez, his 4th World Cup. Back underway now from the cooling/hydration break. I may get the correct terminology by the end of the tournament. Who knows? We'll wait and see. But into the final 20 minutes of regulation time. Now working it down. Montez. Probing pass forward. Finds Quinones. He goes wide now for Jimenez. Jimenez one-on-one gets to the outside. The offside flag comes up. A little delayed, but it is up nonetheless. Just half a step offside. He tried to hold his run, Jimenez. Yeah, South Africa trying to find something to add some respectability to the scoreline, but Mexico push forward in waves. Jimenez into the box again. Shoulder to shoulder, says the referee. Jimenez not happy with that decision. The ball had been threaded into the box for him. It's a nice advanced ball from Roberto Alvarado. It's a fair contest. More positioned there by Sabisi getting in front. Now, South Africa push forward. Pass broken up by the Mexican defence. And they drive it long. Quinones. That'll be a foul and a yellow card for Kosinadathi Sabisi. It's a little heavy knee-on-knee contact. Quinones slow to his feet and back to work now. So Mexico working the ball now through Chavez and plays it back Vasquez, who returns it now down the left flank. Now Chavez plays forward and wide for Gallardo. Returns the pass to Chavez. Comes wide again on the left to Quinones. Return passes, moving it about. Fed into the box here, opportunity. Quinones can't control it. Mexico almost win it back, but South Africa come away with it. No, they turn it over again. Heavy sliding tackle works out for the South Africans. Now pushing out from the back. They pull it up, and a little bit of a grab of the shoulder there will be enough. Now we'll see a double change for both sides, it looks. Makopa and Apollos will come on for South Africa. Edison Alvarez. Will be one of the changes coming on, as will Armando Gonzalez. Just trying to identify the players coming off. One of the players coming off might be Akram Reyners. Madiba will be the other for South Africa, so they'll be replaced by Apollos and Makopa. It'll be Jimenez and Lira coming off for South Africa, for Mexico, sorry. There we go. 4 on each, 4 off each in total now. And with just over 13 and a half, or just under 13 and a half minutes remaining. They're well on top here. The home side. Montez. Vasquez plays it into the middle. Alvarez is there. He's taking on the captain's armband from Montez now that he's on the field. Edison Alvarez. Just working it around, just trying to draw the South Africans forward and create space in behind. And Yell, the keeper, gets it now, plays it out. Now some space is created. Going on a run was Vasquez. Feeds it into the midfield for Chavez. Reyes working it around. Not presenting, but now Mora. Then pinballing pass from Gallardo, bounces off a couple of South African players and goes over the sideline, and as Mexico make their last change, and Alexis Vega will come on for the opening goal scorer in Julian Quinones. So 11 and a half minutes of regulation time remaining. No more changes for the Mexican side. I'll be happy just to sit on this lead. If they happen to grab another, well, that certainly won't hurt. Ball's curled back in from right on the byline there from Luis Chavez. Now Mokoena. He's been physical, but he's been pretty decent. As soon as I say that, he gets dispossessed, but not legally, says the referee. Interesting times now. Mexico well on top. Ball spills back from a deflected pass to Ronwin Williams, the South African goalkeeper. Now they're pushing forward South Africa with some intent. Vasquez just chips it over the top. Pass now returns back to Montez. Vasquez. Happy just to use up time, tick it down towards the 80th minute. Now Alvarado floats it forward. One out by Mbatha. Now South Africa playing it through in different angles, take a shot. And Raul Rangel is up to that. There's Apollos with the shot. Couldn't get it exactly where he needed. Just taking a deflection from some pressure defending on the Mexican side. Gets Alvarado down. And he's going to be back to his feet. And we'll continue on with things. Quite a few disruptions in this half, so it will be interesting to see how much added time when we get there in about 9 minutes' time we have. Plenty of talking points out of this one. A clear red card for South Africa for Yaya Sitole in the 49th minute. Oh, we've got some VAR going on now. I'm wondering what the delay was. Referee's going to go over and have a look at the monitor. For a possible red card, so high contact. Looked innocuous. So interesting, Zwane. Second arm just going over the top and might have hit him in the face. Looks reasonably innocuous, but when it's slowed down from that angle, they might be having a second player off here. South Africa, they may finish the game with 9. Referee's just waving away the South African players. A second red card for South Africa. Substitute Themba Zwane, who only came on in the 61st minute. Adds further insult to injury. As soon as you make contact with a player's face, you are going to be in trouble, especially when it's a separate motion and not incidental contact. And so 2 red cards for South Africa. What a story out of the opening game of the 2026 World Cup. They will now be down 2 players as well as they head into their remaining pool games against Czechia and South Korea. What a way for South Africa just to continue. They've salt poured into that wound. They'll play with 9 to close out this game. Chavez works the ball now. Vasquez. On for Montez. Back to Chavez. Chavez goes down the line, floating it over the top. Opportunity for Mexico to really capitalise here as Vegas just bumped from behind. Referee says that the tackle was okay. Alexis Vega not happy with that decision. My, oh my. This game's had a little bit of everything to open the World Cup. The theatre. The ball bounces downfield and is picked up in the end by Rangel. And now Mexico, they're well on top. Do they want to push for a third and really just bolster that goal difference in case that becomes a separating factor? Alvarado. Lofted pass wide out to Gallardo now. Pull it back to Vasquez. Vasquez for Luis Chavez. Chavez just a little 1-2 exchange with Vega. He's just bouncing around, distributing passes back and forth. Gallardo now playing it back now. Vega. Back they go to Chavez, to Vasquez. He's trying to conjure some space here, trying to find a passing lane. Mora. Wide here. Alvarado. String together a consequential run of passes. Chavez goes now to Vega, who's going to cut back as he hits the top of the 18-yard box looking for runners. Alvarado goes, Chavez goes wide to Gallardo. Get it into the box here. Can't quite control it. Mexican side, and South Africa come away with it. All that build-up amounts to very little. This is the referee, a little bit of advantage here for South Africa. Boaza in a battle with Reyes, and the ball goes over the sideline as we tick down towards 3 minutes of regulation time remaining. You'd have to think with breaks, with VAR, might have a few minutes of added time. Just working it around Mexico now as they look to cement and seal this win. Can they send the home crowd to raptures with one last goal here? Chavez goes wide now. Gallardo back to Luis Chavez. Working it around Vega now. Playing it back to Montez. Now Luis Chavez, Vasquez. Just playing it around across the halfway line. The defensive unit of Mexico. Now they thread it in. Opportunity presents. Gonzalez goes to ground. The referee's going to say South African ball. Just over 90 seconds of regulation time remain. This one will dwindle down, you feel, from here. Solid win for Mexico to start their campaign. Definitely created much better chances. South Africa, very few and far between, even before the red cards. Mexico, almost 62% possession. They push forward here now through Alvarez. Plays it wide to the right. Head it forward and turn it over now. South Africa get away with it. They're not done yet, South Africa. They're still trying to show as much fight as they can, but a good tackle there coming in from Alvarez. Yeah, the captain is hit after the fact. Well, that will be the elapsement of the 90 minutes. 7 minutes of added time. My, oh my. Probably not that outrageous, but seems a long time. The question feels at the moment, does Mexico add to their lead, or do they just sit back and secure it and take the 2-0? And if you get later today, South Korea and Czechia will get their pool games underway. And tomorrow, the first of the Group B and Group D games is Canada take on Bosnia and Herzegovina, and the USA take on Paraguay. Mexico work this around now. Reyes wide on the right. Drifts it back across. Now Vega cuts back in. I thought he's going to wind up for a shot there, but held up on it. Mexican player goes to ground hoping for a free kick. The referee just waves his hand and says, "Get back up, son." Now away goes South Africa. Could they potentially score with 9? A clip here. Are we going to see a third red card? We are going to see a third red card, this time for Mexico. My, oh my. It's all happening in this game. Cesar Montes will be red carded. A clip from behind. Denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. And the theatre is well and truly alive. The FIFA World Cup. Mexico will argue that they had a number of players in pursuit. Small side on them behind, but he definitely takes the legs of Caliso Mudal just outside the box. It's been a busy day for the Brazilian referee today. South Africa will now play 9v10. Edison Alvarez, the man who intriguingly took, well, not intriguingly, but interestingly in the narrative here, took the captain's armband when he came on from Cesar Montes. Montes is told you need to leave the field. So Taboho Mokoena just getting instructions from the bench. This is theatre of the highest order. Has a little conversation with Mbolza. Mokoena rolls it back and is driven long. Mexico come and break it up. They get on the advance, but too heavy to create a chance from it as Roman Williams comes almost all the way down to halfway to pick up the loose ball. Well, interesting times indeed. A key defender, Montes for the Mexican side, and they'll be without him for their next game now. South Africa go forward. The Bafana in their bright yellow. Now they work it wide. A little heavy the touch. Everyone feels like they're just trying to trickle their way to full time here. Shoulder-to-shoulder contact play on, says the referee. South Africa win out. Mexico. The ball gets tangled up in the legs of Armando Gonzalez and finds its way across the sidelines. It'll be a throw in just into the attacking half for South Africa. South Africa push it forward here. Just looking ahead to the upcoming fixtures, Brazil and Morocco on Sunday morning. Cracking games over the next couple of days. South Africa work this around now as we tick up towards 6 minutes gone of stoppage time. Lobbed along by Mexico. South Africa just exchanging passes, trying to work it around. Mexico get forward though here. Vega crossed it into the box, headed away for the time being. Does find a friendly face in a yellow jersey, and they push forward here. South Africa. A bit of a check collision. Referee says play on. No, he's going to come back. I was playing the advantage, he says. One of the South African players prone on the ground. Clearly some discomfort. Maddow back to his feet now. Both teams know that we're heading up towards the 7 minutes. And the referee says that will do us. And Mexico seal a 2-0 win in a game that was full of quite a lot of action. 3 red cards in total. South Africa at one point were playing 9 against 11. But it was the opening goal to Julian Quinones in the 9th minute. And then Raul Jimenez in the 67th. That got it done for the hosts here at Stadium Azteca. They go on top of the group. They get a win on home turf. They do the best they can to get things started as they look to head outside of the group stages after falling short of progressing in 2022. A big thank you to all for tuning in. Great to have you with us. We're going to call it a day there. We'll see you again soon for plenty more live watch-along coverage. But in the meantime, make sure to check out our daily doses, hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon here on the Chris McPherson Show.